Welcome to Trot Talk, an equestrian conversation with the American Saddlebred Horse Association. I'm your host, Tuffy Owens. For our podcast, we're exploring the equestrians behind the horses, influencers in the industry, sharing their stories and giving a leg up to our community. Well, hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to Trot Talk. We're here at the Morgan Grand National. Excited to welcome Victoria Walz as our guest today. Victoria, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, Morgan Grand National, you just came out of the ring, still wearing like most of the clothes you were wearing, changed a little bit, but you just showed in Youth Pleasure Driving, I think it was, with Cool Whip. But thank you for taking the time out to join us here. We generally like to kind of talk about origin stories here. You know, every superhero has an origin story. Tell us a little bit about you growing up, you know, how you got involved in horses and you know, how that all came to be.
Well, I kind of always grew up around horses. My dad, when he was a kid growing up, he got a pony that was given to him by his dad. So he thought he'd do the same things with my brothers who are 10 and 13 years older than me. So
oh my goodness. Okay.
When they had ponies, I was just a couple months old. I was a baby. But so my dad had horses with them, and he just thought it taught good responsibility. It was just something to do outside and as a family.
Yeah.
And he told me that he couldn't get me off the horses until I would fall asleep. Like, as a baby, I would just be sitting on the horses. So I think it's just kind of in my blood.
Well, you must have been pretty sticky then. You're falling asleep.
I think they held me up a little bit.
All right.
But so by the time my brothers had grown out of it, I was old enough to say, like, no, I want horses. And we moved to Rancho Santa Fe from the place we were before in Rancho San Diego, where the horses were really close to us.
Okay.
And when we moved over there and I wanted horses, I just started taking lessons at like a local ride. I started off at a place called Horsemanship Academy, where I learned just basic horsemanship skills. Like we did emergency.
That's huge, though.
Oh, we did emergency dismounts.
That's awesome.
I was like 5 or 6 years old, and we'd canter around the arena, and they'd be like, "Okay, jump off now."
What?
So I think that kind of helped with me not being afraid of the horses.
Yeah.
Then from there, I moved to the local Rancho Santa Fe Riding Club, where I started off dressage, and I wanted to go back to Western. And there I met up with Nicole Johnson, who later on introduced me to Saddle Seat and Morgan's.
Well, I mean, and Nicole Johnson, yeah, she had, I think it was Premier West she had out there. So the transition from the Western that you grew up with to Saddle Seat, what was it about the Saddle Seat riding that you were like, oh yeah, that's it for me?
I loved the horses.
Yeah.
And like, so my first horse was a quarter horse that my dad just found, like, from where he got the horses for my brothers. Yeah. This
is where we go to get horses, over here.
Just like a load of quarter horses came in, and that's what he chose. And then later we're like, oh, we need to get a different one. This one bucks every time you try to lope it. So Nicole got us a really good Morgan. Okay. Well, she was really good for kids. She was a hunt seat horse. Her name was WWF Donna My Pepper. Nice. And so she was kind of my first show horse. She took me on my first victory pass. I got reserve champion at Jingle Bells. And I remember I turned and I asked her, I was like, how do I do a victory pass? Because that was my first time.
How old were you?
I was probably like 7 or 8, maybe. But I just really liked Saddle Seat and the horses and how the horses just love themselves so much.
So proud and majestic,
yeah. It's so much fun showing a horse that like themselves, because then you go in the arena and you get to show everybody their personality. So that's what I like about it, and that's what kind of drew me to it. So you started out with the Morgans. When did you end up who was your first saddlebred? My first saddlebred was Meritage Signed, Sealed, Delivered.
That's right. Okay.
I got her at the end of 2013, and Judd's the one who kind of introduced me more to saddlebred. She took me to my first Louisville, where I just went and watched a couple of years. Yeah. That was really cool.
Well, obviously you've been to Louisville a bunch. You've been in the Winter Circle at Louisville a bunch. But we both go to both those horse shows. We go to Louisville, we come here to the Morgan Grand National. What do you, I'm not going to say pick your favorite, but what do you see, like the similarities, differences between those two horse shows?
Well, for me, coming to Oklahoma is like coming home, since I've been coming here since I was like 9 or 10. Yeah. So like, my parents know the way around here. We have our favorite restaurants. Louisville's just so exciting with all the horses and just the atmosphere, but they both have the same atmosphere. We're here competing with the top. So
absolutely,
both horse shows are so enjoyable.
Yeah, and I've really felt this year, I feel like the crowd here has kind of kicked it up a notch. I feel like they've been pretty lit up.
I've been hearing a lot of crowd cheering at the nighttime classes in the seats look full.
Yeah,
So.
seats look full, and the spotlight. I'm glad that Louisville brought the spotlight back
that was
this
so
year.
much fun.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool because everyone's like, "Oh my god, the spotlight!" I was like, "We have that."
Yeah, we know that. No, it's really nice. I liked that they were willing to make some little changes like that. So you go from Morgan's to Saddlebreds, but in general, like, was that your only hobby? Did you do other stuff?
I started off. My mom tried to put me in a bunch of sports, and horses are really the only one that stuck. I took like dance classes. I took gymnastics, which I stuck in with for a while. I got kicked out of a ballet class.
Oh, okay.
Which I was a small kid, so I was probably just too rowdy for ballet.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty rambunctious. But no, I did a lot of. My mom tried to get me in a lot of different sports, and like all my siblings did different things.
Yeah.
My sister was really into volleyball, so like we would go to volleyball games with her. But I'm the only one who still does their sport, but horses are my hobby and my passion. So. Were
the other siblings? I mean, they didn't get into this as deep as it was just a hobby for them, not a life.
We didn't know competing and horse shows were a thing. My dad didn't know what he was getting into.
Oh yeah.
But my brothers, like, they're pretty gutsy. They'll still get on a horse. If I bring them to like. If I give them beauty mark, they just jump on. They wouldn't ask my second oldest brother. He wouldn't ask any questions.
No,
he just
get it done.
on.
I'll get it done. Yeah. Well, you talk about your dad not knowing what he was getting himself into. He seems like a really cool dude. Like you, like Roberto and Minerva are pretty cool parents.
My parents are so much fun. They just like for us, the horses has been a great experience for us as a family to kind of bond over. We get to travel everywhere together.
Absolutely.
And, like, my sister came here to Oklahoma, I think, 2 years ago.
Oh, awesome.
My brothers have been to Asheville. And it's just, like, they've learned to really enjoy the horses. And, I mean, it's fun to make friends in different places and meet the people. And the horses are good, too.
Well, exactly. And, I mean, if you love horses, going to a high-level event like this or Louisville or Asheville even, both those Asheville shows are top-notch.
It's beautiful to watch the horses.
Exactly. And Asheville's just an awesome town in general. But so that was, that your family is still kind of involved on the periphery with coming and supporting, but that's it for them. They don't have, I mean, what are they doing now? They're 10, 13 years older. Are they family? Are we making little baby riders soon?
I'm trying. My oldest brother, he's married.
Yeah.
And so I'm waiting for him to have a kid so that I have a mini pony I rescued. So I'm trying to get her broke for that. She's a little wild, but hopefully by the time the kid's out and ready, I'll have her ready. Well, I mean, we were talking before we started here. I didn't know you when you were 7, but you look like exactly the same now. And what did you were saying something about our good friend Todd White had said to... Oh, he called me Peter Pan to my parents, and because I just seem like I'm never going to grow up. But I mean... I just like to have fun. That's what it's about with the horses. Well, yeah, it is all about fun. Well, now we got the origin story. We're going to take a little break here, and we're going to come back and talk a little bit about the last few years of your riding career and what you're doing now. We'll be back with more at Trot Talk. Trot Talk wouldn't be possible without the support of the United States Equestrian Federation. USEF is dedicated to uniting the equestrian community, honoring achievement, and serving as guardians of equestrian sport for every horse lover. Discover more about the USEF by checking out their website, usef.org. Well, welcome back to Trot Talk with Tuffy. Victoria Walz joining us once again here. We've been discussing her origin story and growing up with the horses. We'll talk to her a little bit about what she's doing now in the horse business in the last few years of the Victoria Walz experience. Victoria, you have had a ton of success over the last few years. I mean, you won the Triple Crown here, Good Hands, Challenge Cup finals, Louisville. What has it been like, that run and that ride, closing out your junior exhibitor career, starting your amateur career? It was amazing, and it was really cool to just see all my hard work pay off, because this is what, I've dedicated my life to the horses, basically, and, I did take a gap year so that I could focus on that last bit, and I'm pretty lucky my parents supported me in all of my decisions, and they went with me to all the shows, but, it was what I did with the Saddlebreds really, amazed me, because I was really new to it. I started I really only started showing Saddlebreds in equitation in 2016. And then when I got Reed, and then I moved to DeLovely because I only showed Morgan's really up before that. I had Jet Rink and Meritage Science Seal delivered before that, but I just showed them.
You like bay
mostly
horses?
But I do like the bay
only Reed to the
Morgan.
chestnut. Yeah, it was made the transition easier to have bay horses. I like it.
So.
Well, I mean, you make that transition, and you really did. I mean, you kind of took the world by storm there a little bit. I mean, you were really successful right off the bat, and then your final year there really just brought it home. What was that transition period like? I mean, you were still showing Morgans, but what was that transition like going from the Morgans to the Saddlebreds? I mean, how did the different competitions vary?
Well, I feel like when you know how to ride a horse, you know how to ride a horse. So for me, it was just getting to know the individual of my horses. Tuck was my Morgan that I had in California, and I got to ride him every week because he was close to home. And then I would fly to Kentucky or when I was at DeLovely, I'd fly to Indiana, and I'd ride those horses when I had breaks in school or if I needed to go before the horse show. And I think with equitation, it's really important you have a good chemistry. And Leo, imagine my surprise, he was my dream horse. Oh, yeah. I remember in I think it was 2014 or something, we went to Kansas City and I got to watch all the equitation finals and I saw Leo and I told my mom, I was like, I want that horse. And she told me we'd never get a horse like that. And we got that exact horse. So having him was like a dream come true. He was my dream horse. So it was just so much fun just getting to be his partner.
Right. Well, and I mean, but to have parents that will make a dream like that come true, does that add pressure for you? I mean, this is not an inexpensive hobby, and that's we all know that. But did that add pressure to you to know that they were like, hey, we're gonna go and buy this horse, try and make your dreams come true. Now go get it done.
Well, I mean, I don't really handle the expense part, but my parents.
Well, I know, but
so you can talk to my parents about that. But I mean, I still come out here. Simon was my 13 and under horse.
Yeah, it's already simple.
I'm still winning with him. You don't need an expensive horse to do it, but it definitely helps. But no, I had really good trainers. Lillian is amazing at just working with her riders and making and my dad was good too. My mom, that just as long as I was giving it my best shot, I was happy.
That's awesome. I remember, I mean, obviously I had a front row seat. We were right behind you in every one of them in the Triple Crown here at the Morgan Grand National that year. But that last year with Tuck, it felt like, I mean, you maybe didn't have the most horse, but you were still going to get it done because you were so unbelievably mentally tough. And I don't know if it's toughness or if it was just, I mean, you just stayed the course the whole week long. How did you keep all that together?
I mean, Tuck's a pretty amazing horse, and Eric and Austin did a great job with him, and I had Anne backing me up. Lillian came for the beginning of that week, and I just knew that horse would give it his all every step of the way, so I mean, we just went at it together, and at the end of it, that last class, I knew he was tired. I was tired. That was like my 12th class.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And we just decided to go for it, and we both just gave it our all, and it just enjoying the moment I think really helps, and it reflects. If I watch a rider that's having fun, I have fun watching it. So I have fun riding all my horses, so I hope when people watch me, they also have fun.
It was. I mean, trying to beat you wasn't very fun. But I mean, you just gutted that last one out. I mean, every time, and those other girls, they were throwing haymakers at you. I mean, they were giving you your best shot.
Me and Tuck were the oldest ones in there.
Oh yeah. I mean, all these little girls are coming out. All right, we're gonna try and compete with Victoria, and you were like, no.
Some people also try to go the fastest, but I knew Tuck was best when he was slow and pushed together. We could just make. There's different types of impressive passes, and his impressive was when he was slow and marching down the rail instead of fast and marching.
And
so
I tell you,
utilizing your horse.
The one that really stood out to me, it was and it wasn't it was coming down the first rail in the performance arena. And you had a line off the rail, and there was another one that was going to come and try and take that line. And instead of getting the blow-by, you faded to the rail away from them like I'm going into the corner now. Where did all this kind of ring generalship come from? Is that just learn it over the years, or?
I was really good at just I think somebody probably told me about this, but I would go, like, when I'd go to Louisville, or if you're here watching, you watch the riders who are good at working in the arena.
Yeah.
And, like, at Louisville, I think it's really easy to spot.
Anybody in particular?
I'm trying to think. I don't know. I know McGee's really aggressive. I used to watch her and be like, wow. And just the gated classes are so much fun to watch, just to see those people who can maneuver around the arena, make sure you're not just circling the judges, but actually working it to your advantage, where your horse, like the angles that your horse is more comfortable in. Yeah. And just kind of, I did a lot of, like, I sit there and I watch so that I can try to learn and grow, not copy what other riders are doing, but see what works for them and what would work for them.
Yeah, I mean, you're really, it's like you're honing your craft. I mean, this is kind of, I mean, this isn't your whole life, but you've dedicated a really big portion of your life to being very good at this. And it's certainly paid off. In the saddlebred world, what do we got now? I know we've got some fun projects in the works, but what do you got going on right now?
In the saddlebred world, I have 3 saddlebreds right now. Yeah. I have Beauty Mark, who I call Shakira, and then I have Frankie Ballard, who's my first gated horse, and then we just got We Must Be Really Nuts. They call him Wink. He's really cute.
Wink? Oh my goodness. What do we do? Where are we headed with Wink?
Wink is a gated horse. He got second in the gated stake with Emily Lee, so I think we're aiming for amateur gated.
Amateur with him? That's a pretty nice one.
He's really fun. I remember when I first rode him, he reminded me of a mixture between my first saddlebred, CC, and Simon, because he wants to do what you want him to do, and every time you called on him, he rises to the occasion. I've only ridden him twice, but he's been a blast both times. I've been looking forward to the future.
We talk about Simon over and over again because, I mean, that's your hard horse.
Yes.
It's already simple.
He's my sidekick.
Yeah. But I mean, like, we watch if you follow you on social media, you're always doing crazy stuff with Simon. Like, talk about, him and living with him back there in California.
So I think I have to credit a lot of my riding abilities to Simon. He really taught me, like, how a horse thinks and how they, like, what it takes to care for a horse. So after my 14-year-old year, he was for sale. Nobody bought him. So lucky me. I took him home to the local riding club where I actually started riding saddle seat. Right. Because it's only 5 minutes away from my house. So every day after school, if I didn't have something to do, if I didn't have too much homework, I go take care of him. And if I just give him turnouts, gallop him around on the trails, and I think it's funny. My dad told me my mom would get really nervous because I'd be galloping around the golf course. Yeah, Dad would run around the golf. The trails in Rancho Santa Fe are beautiful. They go through all the neighborhoods and they're all mulched and everything. Yeah. And my dad's like, I don't know if I trust Victoria to make the right decisions, but Simon will. Because he's a pretty smart horse, and he's my guinea pig as well. Like, if I need to practice something for my show horses, I practice it on him. And I would do patterns on him. And I rode him bareback all the time, so it would help my legs. And he's just a fun horse.
I mean,
I do what he puts up with a lot. He's a good boy.
Oh, I think I saw you riding a pig at one point. I mean, you got a lot going on.
Yeah.
You got a lot going on. No, I think that your experiences with that horse, I mean, it really has shaped your whole career, really. I mean, having that horse as the starting point, and then getting to keep him as your, like you said, your guinea pig. I think that every person that goes on and really has a lifetime in this, and I feel like you're kind of a lifer. I don't see, even if you went away for a few years, I don't think we're getting rid of you that easy. No, but I mean, I think everybody has that one horse that really changed their outlook, and that's obviously Simon for you. Along the way, we all run into little, roadblocks and bumps and whatever. Has there been anything that was a big challenge for you along the way through your career path here?
I did feel a lot of pressure in my last year of equitation because everything was riding on that last year, and I didn't have as much time as all the other girls who'd been competing in that Kentucky circuit in all those big finals. No,
you were a new face,
So I remember right before my equitation championship at Lexington, I just was so frazzled and froze, and it just what I said earlier, that I just had to come to peace with my parents helped me a lot, Lillian helped me a lot, and just everybody was so supportive, all my trainers, that as long as we knew we were giving it our all, we were happy.
Yeah. Just go in there and lay it all on the line. That's all they can ask of you, and you certainly have delivered more times than you haven't.
And that learning that lesson has helped me with anything in life.
Oh, of course. And that's I think, I mean, we have a girl and her dad's like, there's no way that, if she's like at the ballet recital, there's not the same pressure as, you're in the ring by yourself doing a pattern for the world championship. And if you lay it down, you win. And if you don't, you don't. There's no, and she's going to go into a job interview. There's no way there's, that amount of pressure on, as she's experienced already and made it through. I mean,
equitation helps you deal with pressure.
Yeah, man. Sure. Yeah, for sure. Well, how about I get done not to be recent, but a big success that you're proud of. I mean, it could be just in any walk of life, but I mean, any one big thing that kind of stands out as a great moment.
Well, I mean, having an undefeated Louisville, I never thought
that wasn't
possible. That was amazing. And then I came to Oklahoma afterwards, and I won every single equitation class. And but also another big thing for me was it was my dream to win all 3 seats of the medal here. Yeah. And I did it.
Which was crazy.
It was. I mean, I've been coming to Oklahoma since I was so young that I've been watching all these girls win it. That it was really cool to have the moment where I was the one winning it.
Well, hey, listen, you've done a ton over the last few years, and I'm glad we got to kind of talk about that. We're going to take another little break. We'll come back and talk a little bit about you as an influencer of the next generation of riders, because I think they all really look up to you. We'll be right back on Trot Talk with Tuffy. Did you know the ASHA offers membership benefits? It's the only way you can earn ASHA high points for all divisions and disciplines, National Pleasure Awards, and eligibility for year-end awards, grants, and scholarships. Don't forget to renew your membership or sign up for one from November 1st to December 1st at saddlebred.com. Well, welcome back to Trot Talk here with Victoria Walz. We're having an equestrian conversation, just kind of talking now about the future for Victoria and her influence on the next generation of young riders. We've talked a little bit about the people who have influenced you. I don't know if you really realize it or what it actually means to you, but there's a ton of young riders that look up to you and say that's who I want to be when I'm at that level. Does that register with you?
I mean, I never thought that would happen. Like, I'm just here trying to ride my horses.
I'm just trying to stay on, man.
But it's been really cool, and just to meet these girls who we all share a love for the horses, and a passion for the horses. So I hope they realize I'm just like them.
You're a horse crazy girl too.
Yeah, exactly. But I hope I'm a good role model for them. I mean, as long as you work hard, I think you can do well.
Yeah.
And so here at Oklahoma, I met these girls at Cross Creek Stables last year, and I met them again this year, and it's just so much fun I follow them on Instagram and just to see them grow. And they'll ask me questions sometimes, and I'm just like, listen to your trainer, work hard, just keep riding the horses. You can do it. Just keep going. Yeah.
Just stick with it and just keep riding. I mean, that's, you can't really...
Practice makes perfect. I think a lot of people get caught up in the show arena where you get you freeze, but you've been practicing so much at home, just... show everybody what you've been working hard for.
Exactly. And if you do it, if you put in the time at home and, ride the lesson horses and, get legged up, when you get in the show ring, even when your brain shuts down, your body can still do the job. The rote memory of, the muscle memory can still kick in. And that's, even if you freeze up mentally, at least you can still, keep riding your horse.
Make up for it,
Yeah. Going forward, where do you see yourself in 5 years from now, 5 years, 10 years, something like that? Where are you headed in life and in horses?
Well, I'm currently in college at University of San Diego, and I'm gonna major in real estate. And
awesome!
Go into the business with my parents, hopefully. So I'm planning to do that. So
yes, I feel like you can get the job.
5 years, I'll be.
You won't have to worry about a job interview there.
I'm pretty fortunate that my parents have a business that I can go into.
What is the family business? I mean, real estate, but is there? What aspect of
property management?
Property management, okay.
In San Diego and California.
Not a bad place to be in real estate.
Works pretty good. It lets me have some horses. So.
Exactly.
But, I don't see myself ever really leaving the horse industry. I think I do want to try different seats and different styles. Yeah. I took one reining lesson, and it was so much fun. But, saddle seats, that's where I came from, kind of. So, I love it. But I have some horses now, and I'm thinking maybe like, I'm interested in the breeding aspect. I'm
Okay.
really into. I have a 3-year-old in San Diego right now, 3-year-old Morgan horse that I've been learning the process of training him and breaking him to ride and stuff like that, working along my trainers. So
Yeah.
I think I really enjoy seeing the horses progress. So I don't know if maybe I will be breeding in a couple of years or just
That'd be
helping
cool.
make more horses for
Yeah.
other people to have and ride, just developing and adding. I want to give back to the community that's given so much to me.
That's huge. I mean, that's huge, and we do need more people breeding and then making horses for people. I mean, people are bringing in lesson programs and generating customers. We still have to have horses for them to buy and step into to show. So that'd be. We are happy to still have you and going forward. Something that you haven't accomplished or haven't tried but hope to in the future. You talked a little about reining. We showed an Arab last year, or a half Arab, or I was at Tulsa last year. What's next?
I'm just I love the gaited horses, so I'm
Right.
learning gaited
Yeah.
right now, and I just hope I can compete in all the classes I can get into.
Well, you've certainly done well in the ones that you've tried so far. I can't imagine that the 5-gaited division will be any different.
It's just something about the 5-gaited horses.
Oh,
is
it's so fun.
Cool.
I mean, it's like riding a freight train. I mean, it's so much. It's a power, some natural horsepower underneath you. You've certainly picked a couple of nice ones to work with. That's not a bad deal. What's the rest of the year like for you? You going to Kansas City? Where are we going next?
I mean, short-term goals I show tonight, and every ride I have in the show arena, I want to make sure I have the best ride to that horse's capability. Like Bentley, my Western horse tonight, this is his first show season, his 3rd horse show.
Oh my gosh!
So I had a great ride on him the other night, so I'm just hoping we have another good, solid one tonight, and just to have fun on Simon.
I was gonna say,
Simon's going tonight, so.
Well, and you're back to back, and you're Western and Classic Pleasure. Like, what's that? What's that gonna be? I mean, what's the plan?
Tux pants underneath the chaps, and then a shirt vest tie underneath my Western shirt. I'll switch out everything really quick. But I mean, I've done it before, and luckily it's Bentley to Simon, because Simon will be like, all right, cool. I just click in right away. We go. So.
Well, it's formal Western. I like it. Formal Western. All right. So with everybody, we have the lightning round at the end. No. I know. It's very exciting. So we've got these same questions that we asked to our other guests, and we'll ask them to you, and let's see what you come up with. Question 1. Greatest horse of any breed that you've ever seen in person?
Vegas Moon is my favorite horse ever.
Vegas Moon. All right. I like it. Greatest horse that you've ever ridden?
I got to ride Maryhill After Hours.
Really?
Puck is amazing. He's
okay.
Such a cool horse. I'm pretty honored to be in the same barn as him, so I get to see his beauty all the time.
Oh, absolutely. That's a gorgeous horse.
Getting to ride him that one time, that was awesome.
That's pretty cool. If you could bring 3 people to dinner from all of history, 3 people to dinner, who would they be?
Horse people or just regular
anybody?
People? Oh, Freddie Mercury.
Very cool.
Oh my God, who else do I bring? I don't know.
Shawn Mendes.
I mean, just me and all of Queen would be great. I love it. Oh, wait, Freddie, maybe Ozzy, and can Motley Crue come? I love rock. I feel like it'd be a big
amazing.
Rock party. It'd be so much fun.
Crazy. I don't think there would be a lot of eating at that party.
It might be a little too wild. I'll just watch it.
Yeah, there you go. That could be a documentary right there. You could have a Netflix series of that dinner. This is always a fun one. The craziest name that you've ever seen for a horse?
Craziest name?
I mean, Cool Whip's pretty good.
Cool Whip, I think, is probably the coolest name I'll ever have. I don't remember any crazy names off the top of my head. You've
got a couple of good ones right now. You got Cool Whip, We Must Be Really Nuts.
That one's fun because I'm I feel that name. I really do feel that name with all the horses I have.
Well, if you come up with one on that one, come back to it. Mm-hmm. The favorite memory that you have within the horse business?
I think winning the Hunt medal on my horse that was my Kingsgrove Dynasty. He was my first saddle seat horse. I got him when I was 8.
Yeah.
And then I came back when I was 15 and rode him hunt seat. And he was tiny. He was like pony size. And somehow we won out of 30 riders.
That's awesome.
And so that was really special for me.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good one. If you could have one last meal, what would it be?
My favorite food just to have at the house is some Ruffles chips with lemon and hot sauce.
Lemon and hot sauce?
It's so good. It's a little, you get the chips a little soggy.
Okay,
and I eat
right.
it with chopsticks so my fingers don't get dirty. That's
chips and chopsticks.
Yeah.
I don't think we could have given people any number of guesses and they would not have come up with that one.
If you've been to my house and seen me just sitting in the couch, that's what I
with
eat.
With chopsticks.
Yeah. My parents know.
Oh my gosh. We can't do any better than that, Victoria. I think that's going to bring it to a close for Trot Talk this week. Well, wrapping up this episode, hey, it has been great talking with you. I'm really, really pleased that you joined us. I think we had a great time. Thank you so much for joining us. Victoria Walz. Thank you all for listening to Trot Talk. We hope you enjoyed the ride. The ASHA is committed to promoting and protecting the American Saddlebred horse for a brighter future full of ASB dreams. I'm Tuffy Owens. Keep listening and trot on.